We'll have to stop this screen sharing in a minute so that then we can see each other properly.
Bilay, are you there?
Yeah.
Is Sanjay Gupta here?
In attendance, sir.
Okay, wonderful, Sanjay. Okay, Gurudev standard time 11 o'clock.
Namaste. Good morning, respected Governing Board, Advisory Board, Consortium Partners, Honorable Chief Guest, Chairman Founder Soil, President Soil School of Business Design, Director Soil School of Business Design, our very dear students, parents, guardians, family members, other faculty and staff members. I, Pooja Prabhakar, along with Dr. Ekta Singhal, Faculty School of Business Design, Avani Divedi, student Imagineers, feel privileged to welcome you all on behalf of the entire Soil School of Business Design to the Convocation ceremony, Deekshanta, of our very first and special batch, Avant Garde. This is a much awaited day in every student's life, as it gives a returns to the efforts put in by students throughout their academic endeavor. It is a day full of joy, a day about pride and accomplishment, a day of celebration. It gives a sense of achievement and sense of responsibility towards fulfilling future commitments. It fills the heart with mixed feelings, fulfillment and sadness, anxiety and eagerness. Say goodbye to the comfortable and secure life within college walls. Get ready to march the beat of the business world. To make this ceremony a blessed one by kindling the lamp of knowledge and wisdom, may I now request Dr. Vidya Iyer, Director, Soil School of Business Design, to kindly light the ceremonial lamp. Thank you, Vidya ma'am. May I now request Riya Malik, President, Student Council, to kindly light the ceremonial lamp. Request Shreya Saini, Vice President, Student Council, to kindly light the ceremonial lamp. May I now request Mr. Sahil Sachdev, President, Soil School of Business Design, to kindly light the ceremonial lamp. Now, may I please request Mr. Anil Sachdev, Founder and Chairman, Soil, to kindly light the ceremonial lamp. Thank you, everyone. I would like to call upon our very own Imagineer student, Chino Patro, to sing the invocation Saraswati Vandan.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्र वस्त्रान्विता या वीणा वरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा पूजिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निस्सजाड्यापहा.
Thank you, Chief. Mr. Anil Sachdev is the founder and CEO of Grow Talent Company Limited and the School of Inspire Leadership. This innovative school has been co-created by a consortium of 32 leading firms and has focused on 5 pillars of inspired leadership: compassion, diversity, ethics, mindfulness, and sustainability. In 2019, SOIL has launched its second campus in Manesar, the SOIL School of Business Design, that is offering the first of its kind 2-year full-time PGDM that combines the disciplines of liberal arts, design thinking, and management education. May I please invite Mr. Anil Sachdev to kindly deliver the address.
Thank you very much, Pooja. And everybody, welcome to this time and to this space. It's a very special day. It's a very joyous day today. When you imagine something for the future, and that imagination is rooted in the spirit of serving the well-being of all, to see that imagination coming alive and seeing the power of the co-creation done as a result is extraordinarily joyous. The first gathering we had of friends from all over the world at Manesar was 2 years before we set up the campus, where we had friends from all over the world. We had our dear mentor, Anne Stadler from Seattle, the winner of 3 Emmy Awards. We had Dr. Sally Fox from Yale University, the director of the Antioch School of Business. And we had so many wonderful friends and colleagues from different parts of the country and different parts of the world. And when we all came together to say, why are we being inspired to set up this new campus? Anne said to us, listen carefully to the whole system. Listen to the birds of the land, listen to the insects, listen to the animals, listen to the human beings, and listen to the history of this land that is enabling you to create this new beginning. And when we listened with all our attention, we visualized that we would like to create a school that would serve the well-being of all in Manesar. In the recent past, Manesar had become infamous because of the violence in the plants of Maruti Suzuki and Honda, where they lost some of their key people. And there was a visualization that actually Manesar should become a center for harmony. It is supported by a lot of Japanese investment, and the Japanese are responsible for creating a new beginning after the World War of a world in which there is togetherness and community, which emphasizes the Japanese philosophy. So we were visualizing that in the Soil School of Business Design, we should create a complete partnership of the 5 elements. The first element, the community. And that includes all the wonderful companies, high-tech companies, automotive companies, companies in the space of discovering new vaccines, like our dear friend Abhijit Das has a wonderful R&D center working on new vaccine for COVID, for example. All that happens in Manesar. So first, the industry, the people, the farmers, many of the farmers are having distress. We have to keep the interest of the community. Second, the interest of all the wonderful people who want to do something for the community. The amazing faculty members who have joined the school, the amazing staff members who have come together because they are inspired by this purpose, the mentors, and all the wonderful people, including all the amazing adjunct and visiting faculty. This group is inspired by the cause, and so they come to serve the community. Third, when the community and the people who want to serve the community, they want leaders of tomorrow. They want people who can help them to realize their dreams. And these are the young, bright minds who have chosen to be here. And I still remember by the time we got approval for this campus, it was already in the beginning of May, and the classes were to start in July. And the students who had expressed interest in joining this new experiment in higher education were not sure whether we would get the approval in time. Finally, when we got it, some of them chose to walk away from other business schools, and some of them had that pioneering spirit because they were attracted by the new vision. They, of course, had the trust of the soil legacy, but they wanted to be part of something new and exciting, which was being done for the first time in the country. So the amazing students whom we call Avant Garde, whom the team named there as Avant Garde, which is also a group that is like a group of adventurers trying to discover something new, the innovators. Number 4, all the people in the ecosystem who are looking forward to getting the products from the school. So the amazing companies, along with the communities, the future recruiters who are looking forward to hiring this talent. And 5, the co-founders, the shareholders who have invested their money, their time, their attention, and their heart into co-creation of the school. So the 5 partners, the community and Mother Earth being first, the faculty and staff being second, the students being third, the industry that is going to welcome the products as fourth, and number 5, of course, the shareholders and the board members. That's why today I lit 5 wicks of the lamp, all the 5 dimensions. And I last lit the wick of the shareholders, which I represent. Because in terms of priority, the community and Mother Earth is number 1. And the last priority is we as shareholders, because we are only creating the vision, but the people who are co-creating are the amazing faculty and staff, the absolutely pioneering students with all their spirit, and the companies that have trusted us. And of course, all the fellow co-creators and board members who believe in this vision. So it's a real blessing to see this come alive. The Avant Garde Batch has done something exceptional by having the resilience and courage. The first year, they were so used to the happy ways of living in the hostel and the campus. But second year, we were all suddenly surprised by this disruption. And therefore, for some time, everybody got rattled. But then they came together, and the way they invested in themselves, the way they managed to get good jobs, even in a very difficult year, with the help of our dedicated careers team, it's been a remarkable journey. So I want to wish the Avant Garde group all the very best. I am sure you pioneers are going to do soil proud, and each one of you will shine like a diamond, and you will be happy, and you will spread happiness to everyone else. So thank you very much, and I look forward to now the rest of the convocation as an observer. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for such a warm address. May I now invite Mr. Sahil Sachdev, President, Soil School of Business Design, to kindly deliver the address.
Good morning. I would like to warmly welcome all the parents here today, all the current students, and of course, the graduating class. Along with that, would also like to welcome from SOIL the Board of Directors, the Board of Advisors, and all our wonderful colleagues, faculty members, and all the operational people behind this wonderful event today. Avant Garde, the name of the batch, was chosen very, very aptly to describe the first formative batch at the SOIL School of Business Design. It represents the uniqueness and openness of this batch that has showcased a tremendous amount of experiential, radical, and a modern learning journey. The last 2 years have been unprecedented for most of us. Not only have we coped with personal problems with the pandemic, but we've also had to be resilient on the work front and showcase many different levels of resilience amongst us. You, the class of 2021, have really shined through this journey over the last 2 years. You have battled over 1,400 classroom hours. You have done multiple assignments. You have opened your mind not only to business aspects, but also to the liberal arts, design thinking, and the business design aspects. Never before has a business school class dealt with so much of uncertainty. And you have shown through all of this over the last 2 years. I still remember meeting each one of you when you walked in through those doors at our campus. And today, as you graduate and are walking out of the same doors, my heart is full of joy to see how your heads are held up high and how you are each graduating to take on the world ahead of you. In my heart, we will always be connected because the first batch is always extremely special. Even though it was a small batch, but you would all agree that the bonds that we formed would be there with us for life. And in every joy and every pain that you face, my own joy and pain will also be there. I'm extremely delighted to see all of you spreading your wings today. I would like to relive one particular experience, that some of you might know, but others who are new to the soil philosophy, I would like to relive an experience from this batch to tell you just how remarkable this batch is. In 2019 December, a few months before the pandemic and the lockdown, we had an open tournament called the Soil Premier League, which is an IPL style tournament, where we had to form a team which comprised of not only the faculty members, but also all the students, and it was a joint team. Now our team, with a limited student group of 25 students, we had not much to choose amongst us and the faculty. But what we had to do was to compete against some of the other best teams from the other program, and also amongst all the alumni who had many state and Ranji level players playing on that same team. Now, if I may describe, our team was more like the Lagan team in the movie Lagan, taking on the Goliaths, which was, all the other teams that were there. We, of course, had a few practice sessions, but, we were not sure what the outcome will be. And so all, 11 of us, which included whatever members we could get and whoever had even a little bit of interest in playing, who we gathered onto the field that day, joined on this early morning escapade on the cricketing grounds near Gurgaon. And we started, playing and battling. That day was one of the most remarkable days for all of us, because when the team started, the students came up to me and they told me that, quote unquote, "Sir, today we are going to get the trophy home." And I looked at them in disbelief at the beginning of the day, not sure, whether it was overconfidence or whether they were really overexcited to be participating. Believe me, as that day progressed, as I saw in every difficult situation on the field, there was one leader that was born. By the end of the day, there were many leaders and many stars born that day. And it was the same batch, Avant Garde, that finally got the trophy home. It was unbelievable for all of us. Not a lot of us hadn't, had no experience in playing, and we are competing against the best. But each one of us took the team along, took all of us along and made it happen. At the end of the day, what we achieved was absolutely remarkable. I'm pretty confident that each one of you, as you lead your life in the journey ahead, there will be, you're already now a star. You will continue to shine in the communities and the institutions that you work with. And you will grow the magic that you've come to discover here over the last 2 years. Soil's motto has always been to build leaders with character, competence, and enthusiasm. In today's time, when the world is in a dark shadow, with the effect of multiple effects of the pandemic affecting all of us, when the natural resources are scarce, and when there's a constant battle between Mother Nature and human beings, I'm sure that each one of you, given the values that you've learned, which are not only the business values, but also the 5 pillars of soil, would shine through and work in your communities and in the world at large to bring a sizable change to everything around you. It is your generation and this beacon of hope that really needs to come together to make a difference. If we continue going down the same path and creating capitalist organizations, there's only more harm to come unless there is an underlying factor on social capitalism. We are very confident that given the learnings that you had here, you will be path breakers in terms of creating sustainable, communal, and working with Mother Nature to replenish it over the next many years of your lifetime. You will take less from the world and give more to it and make it a better place as you leave for the generations to pass out. A special mention to all the parents today who are really trusting your children to come be part of this journey over the last 2 years. Believe me, you'll be extremely proud of who they have become and what they're going to achieve over their lifetime, and you have nothing to worry about. This year, for the same program, you'll also be proud to know that we received more than 1,000 applications, and we will be having a full class of 120 students joining us on campus. This is all thanks to your efforts and to the formative batches' efforts of really trusting us. A very special thank you not only to the parents and the current batch of students, but also to the awesome faculty that we have. Over the last 2 years, we've grown in strength and have also learned along with you. Today we have, a faculty that is more like family to all of us. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the support staff that makes every day happen for us, at the campus or elsewhere. There are a lot of people working right from, people in the housekeeping team, the administration team, to everyone at the campus. They have all made this happen and all been part of the journey the last 2 years. I would like to lastly invoke Lord Goddess Saraswati Mata's guidance to all of us, and invoke her blessings to ensure that all of you have the most fulfilling career and life ahead. And I will always be there with each one of you as you graduate and in every step of your life going ahead. So thank you very much, and I wish you all very best.
Thank you. I just want to take a moment to also thank Mr. Muthuraman, the chairman of the Board of Governors of SOIL, who has wholeheartedly not only invested his time, but has always encouraged us to go on this path which is less traveled. I also want to thank other members of the governing board, including Dr. Indira Parekh, who is the former director of IIM Ahmedabad, Prateek Kumar, the president of Wipro, the former head of HR and an outstanding leader. I want to thank Harsh Mishra, who's with a global stature academic. I want to thank Arun Arora, our friend who heads the Shroff Hospital. I want to thank Savita Mahajan, formerly of ISB, who has wholeheartedly welcomed this. And I also want to thank the amazing ideas and inspiration gained from Arun Maira, the former chairman of BCG, member Planning Commission, and a dear friend. So every one of them, including the board members, of course, and the co-founders, and many of them are present today. And I just want to say from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for your blessing, for your encouragement, and for your love.
Thank you, Sahil sir, for such an illuminating address, and thank you, Anand. Mr. Sanjay Gupta is a seasoned business leader. He commenced his professional journey in finance in the early 1980s, working across a range of reputed companies in India, including the Tata Group, Eicher, Mitsubishi, Pepsi, and Mojo. Mr. Sanjay joined American Express in 1996, where he was responsible for leading, consolidating, and restructuring the company's global financial operations. He headed customer service for global markets outside the US and was chairperson of the company in India. In 2010, he decided to pursue a new career to build a social enterprise for giving back in a sustainable way. Mr. Sanjay assumed the role of Chief Executive Officer at English Helper Inc. The company is committed to providing innovative and affordable technology-enabled English learning to people across all age groups and income segments. Most recently, the company has initiated Right to Read with a view to enable English literacy in public schools across the world and has launched English Bolo in India, designed to help youth from low-income backgrounds to improve English speaking skills. Mr. Sanjay is committed to the need of education to achieve the democratic vision. He writes a column for a leading business daily in India, Economic Times. In addition, Mr. Sanjay is engaged with the cause of children and youth as an active trustee at Udyan Care. He is on the board of School of Inspired Leadership and advisor for Acumen India and India Leaders for Social Sector. Mr. Sanjay is also a teacher and coach. He's a guest faculty at Duke University's Executive Education Program and delivers programs on doing business across culture, customer and brand, leadership during change. May I now request our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Sanjay Gupta, to deliver the Convocation Day address.
Thank you, Pooja. That was very kind of you. It's a special day for me today because as I was reflecting when I was so kindly invited to speak at this occasion, a couple of emotions came to me. Gratitude and amazement. More than 10 years ago, I've known Anil for, I think now 3 decades, or almost 3 decades. And more than 10 years ago, we came together and I had the privilege of spending time with him as he was contemplating the establishment of soil. And to be here today, to be part of this pioneering group, the first batch of SSOBD coming out successfully is nothing short of an amazement for me. So thank you for making me part of this wonderful journey. It's a real pleasure to be here today to see all the energetic young faces. Congratulations on your achievement. As has been said previously, you are true pioneers. You have demonstrated courage, and that is what you need to do. Build the habit of being brave so that courage becomes your nature, and you've demonstrated the courage and the confidence that has resulted in where you are today. I think you also are very privileged. Being educated is a real privilege. Almost 1 billion people on this planet cannot read in any language. And about 95% of the world's population aren't graduates. And there's some estimates that say that less than 1% of the world has had any kind of exposure to the kind of education you have received in business and leadership. So you clearly are very privileged, and you should also be very aware and proud of it. I want to talk a little bit about a biological wonder that has been in the news recently. Many of you would have seen on TV or read somewhere this great phenomena of billions of cicadas, these small insects like crickets in the in North America that are coming out after being under the ground for 17 years. And while that is an amazing biological marvel, that is the cynosure of many eyes and the focus of many scientists. In some ways, it doesn't compare to the transformation that another insect demonstrates, the butterfly. From being where it starts as a caterpillar, when it gains adulthood, it is beautiful, it is free, and it is captures our imagination. And I think about you graduates, and I think about you as butterflies, with your new beauty and with no limits to your future. Now, your flight will be guided by a lot of skills. You have acquired many skills over the last couple of years, and you will be guided by those skills, and you will achieve much because of those skills. But your vision, your ambition, your aspirations, your goals, your imagination will be fueled by your will. And today, I want to spend a little time talking about a few principles, 5 principles that I'd like you to keep in mind. And I believe that they will be important for you as you embark on the next journey of your life. So my first principle for you is the principle of being who you are. And for those of you who play tennis or follow it, I'd say the term is play your forehand. Now, you're young, but I guess many of you have heard of one of the greatest female tennis players the world has ever seen, Steffi Graf. And Steffi, again, if you watch the game or you play the game or you play a racket game, used to favor her forehand. It was a big weapon. And I remember watching her play a Wimbledon final on television, and the commentator, who was an ex-Wimbledon champion herself, was lamenting the fact that Steffi tended to be defensive with her backhand, which frankly at that level of play is a rarity. And she hoped that Steffi would step on court and start hitting her backhand. But Steffi didn't do any such thing. She kept to her forehand. Her opponent knew that her backhand was weaker. They went after her. She covered her backhand. She played her forehand. And she was once again the Wimbledon champion. She stayed with what she knew had brought her to the finals, and she stayed true to herself. I got promoted once to a job that was held by my boss. And it was quite a leap for me. And I remember my first week in office, and there was this big office, and there were rugs on the floor and paintings on the wall. And I was very nervous because every day, the first week, I used to come in and wonder, what would he have done today? Luckily for me, a very senior executive in the company came visiting, and it was his towards the time he was retiring, and he came to me and he said, I wanted to meet you, congratulate you. And I also want to tell you that yes, the person you have succeeded had big shoes, but you got here because of your shoes. So don't try and wear any other shoes. And so my first principle to you is be authentic, be who you are, because the best you is you, and you will bring out the best performance when you're you in the truest spirit of that word. My second principle for you is recognize and understand others. And in fact, I would imagine that that is the core principle underpinning the 2 years that you have spent going through the notions of design thinking, because you have to understand others, you have to include others, you have to allow difference, and that is the notion of diversity, it is the notion of inclusion. It is the notion of customer obsession, and it is the best form of respect. J.K. Rowling, the famous British author, was speaking to a graduating class at Harvard, and she said, you're already very successful. You're at Harvard and you're passing out. I haven't come to speak to you about success. I'll talk to you about what I'm good at, which is imagination. But it's not the imagination of magic or witchcraft or wizards, but it's the imagination that allows you to understand and think about others. I'm very rich now. I was very poor, and it isn't fun being poor. And so as you go through your life and as you go through your successes, step back and recognize and understand, and you'll be better for it. My third principle for you is the power of conversation. I have a friend and a mentor in Boston, and she's a woman of great caliber. She was the first math woman professor at MIT, and she's a gifted musician. And I think somewhere the confluence of all these skills have helped her become now a coach and a guide for leaders and boards. And she works with Fortune 500 companies. And she has a practice, and she calls it find the missing conversation. So when she gets with a group of leaders and they are struggling with a problem, her first question is, let's go looking for the missing conversation. I was a member of an executive team in one of the businesses that I worked for. And one of my colleagues was a man who was gifted, talented, forthright, outspoken, and we both hated each other. And everybody knew that we hated each other. And that wasn't very good for the team. As a team, we went out for a couple of days to think about our vision and our strategy. And a couple of days later, when the exercise was over, we were very excited. And our facilitator asked us at the end of the 2 days, and she said, if there was one thing that you control that could derail your plans, what would it be? And all of us said teamwork. So then she said, why don't each one of you go home, think about the person you like the least or hate the most, and next morning go to their office, ask them for a cup of coffee, and tell them you hate them. My colleague was much more courageous than me, and so next morning he showed up at my office and he said, Sanjay, can you get me a cup of coffee? And I said, and he said, I hate you. And we spent 4 hours discovering that we were two normal human beings with many common interests and lots of things to share and learn from each other. And we've been friends ever since. I remember those movies we used to watch as children, those war movies. And those weren't the days of social media. And inevitably, someone would open a newspaper or you'd hear the radio, and the words that would be written or spoken would be, talks have failed, war imminent. So I tell you, conversation is really important. My fourth principle for you is fight the right fight. Now, as you get out, and you already have been out a bit, life won't always be a bed of roses. You're going to be faced with conflict and challenge and difference, and you'll have to navigate your way through it. So there I was in some business, and I always have these great ideas. And I had this great idea that would change the earth. It would definitely change the business, generate a lot of cash. And I spoke to my CEO, and he said, yeah, this is very good. Do it. And as I began doing it, I ran into serious political wind. And we were in a very crucial meeting. And one of his very powerful lieutenants was completely opposed to the idea. And I looked at him for support, and he pulled the plug on me. And I was dejected and despairing, and the sky had fallen on my head, till he took me out for a meal. And he said, you must be very passionate about what you do. You must be passionate about your projects, your initiatives, your tasks, your goals. But try to keep your emotion for the people, for your relationships. And it's hard, but you have to start practicing. And he said, if you want to win, you've got to learn to lose almost every day. And he said, I'm not here because I've won every fight. I'm here because I learned to lose, and I learned to avoid battle, which I could avoid, and fight only the right fight. And so I would urge you to think about that, as you will undoubtedly encounter some challenges as you progress with life. And finally, my fifth principle for you is always ask why. My niece, who is in her mid-20s now, when she was aged 2, was a very curious child. And I remember one Sunday afternoon, they had come to spend time with us. And you know how Sunday afternoons are, nice lunch, a beverage that helps you feel happy and sleepy. And we were sleeping, it was June, air-conditioned room. And every now and then she would pop in and wake me up and say, why is the AC on in your room? Why is your room so dark? Why do you sleep with your head on this side? And when she had come to me the 5th or 6th time, I said, Tulsi, can you please stop asking me why? And I went back to sleep. She nodded her head, went out of the room, came back 2 minutes later and said, why shall I not ask why? And I see that specialness in her as she makes her way in life 20 years later. But I did talk to a Japanese, a wise man, an instructor who was Japanese, and I asked him when we were, and I noticed that in your term 1, you did spend some time on statistical problem solving, and I'm sure you came across the 5 whys. So I asked him about the 5 whys. And he said, Sanjay-san, Gupta-san, take it home with you. So I said, what do you mean? He said, well, if you ask why, you solve problems. Didn't you see that? I said, yeah. And he said, if you ask why, you learn some new things. I said, yeah, that is true too. Then he said, if you ask why, you make friends, because friendship is about caring and caring is about knowing. And I said, okay, now that you say so, I think you have a point. And then he said, finally, if you ask why, maybe you might learn how to ask why not. And if we didn't ask why not, I wouldn't be here because there would be no aeroplanes. So I learned about the power of asking why, which I'm hoping is nothing new for you. So in closing, my dear friends, my young friends, you're a marvel, but not the cicada kind. You are butterflies. Your transformation has created magical opportunities. You will definitely achieve countless achievements. But I think that your true glory lies, just like Sahil said, in not just your successes and your milestones and your targets and your goals, but in who you become. Congratulations and my best wishes. Thank you.
And I must acknowledge also the presence of Santosh Desai, perhaps the tallest marketing guru in India and leader and member of advisory board. I'm sorry I did not notice earlier, and I'm sorry I did not acknowledge his name earlier. Santosh, thank you very much for all your love and affection and support. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for this enlightening address. Yearbook beautifully capture memories frozen in time, events that happen and faces that change inevitably. May I now invite Mr. Jaideep Tredia, librarian, Soil School of Business Design, to share his thoughts on Avant Garde and to unveil the yearbook.
Thank you, Avni. Thank you. Namaste. I have had a great privilege to interacting with the Avant Garde in the library activity. I thank you all very much for making that time very memorable, fun, and interesting learning for us. Dear Avant Garde, sharing a few lines in the form of Hindi poem for my as per my experience. सुबह सवेरे जब देखा था, सुबह सवेरे जब देखा था तुमको, न जाने मैं कहाँ खो गया, चहकते हंसते चेहरों में मैं अपनेपन में डोल गया, शुद्ध भाव से ऐसो बीड़ी का तुमसे ही आगाज हुआ, शुद्ध भाव से ऐसो बीड़ी का तुमसे ही आगाज हुआ, छोटी मोटी परेशानियों में भी भटकने का ना एहसास हुआ, उड़ती धूल को भी तुमने हरियाली से पाट दिया, तुम सबने मिलकर ऐसो बीड़ी का मनमोहक श्रृंगार किया, गौरव करते हैं हम सब तुम पर, गौरव करते हैं हम सब तुम पर, जिन युक्ति से ये काम किया, नए नवेले कैंपस को अपने गुंजन से गुलजार किया, अकेले काम करते लाइब्रेरी में आकर मुझको झकझोर दिया, अपनी प्यारी किलकारियों से तुमने कई बार मुझे भाव विभोर किया, तुम सबने अपने गुरुओं का निर्मल दिल से सत्कार किया और गुरुओं ने भी तुमको ज्ञान रूपी प्रकाश दिया, विश्वास है हमको गगन को छू लोगे, विश्वास है हमको गगन को छू लोगे, अपने ज्ञान से दुनिया का दिल मोह लोगे। कुछ यादें हैं जिनको हमने संजोया है, कुछ यादें हैं जिनको हमने संजोया है, एयर बुक में उनको हमने पिरोया है। थैंक यू।
When our campus was being constructed and the government people had to come to inspect, so one day we found Jaideep with his children. They were there in the campus helping to create all the library. So it was quite an amazing to see the commitment not only of Jaideep, but his entire family was supporting him to get ready for the AICTE team. Thank you, Jaideep ji.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shrey Saini, Radhika Khanna, and Chinu Patro, students, Imagineers Batch, for this thoughtful yearbook. We'll soon be sharing the yearbook with all of you. Soil School of Business Design is a unique business school focusing on the power of design thinking in creating the curriculum of a new age management program. May I please invite Dr. Vidya Iyer, Director, Soil School of Business Design, to give you a report on the academic activities of the Institute.
Thank you, Avni. Good morning, one and all. Respected governing board, respected advisory board members, chairman, president, my colleagues, and dear children, the students, and their parents. Before I proceed, I would just urge the students in the gathering, especially the Avant Garde students, to pause for a moment, look back, think of your parents, and think of all those people who made life possible and this day possible for you. It's they who have been behind you, given you all the strength and support to bring you thus far and ahead too. So, the academic report for the batch 2019-21 is a collection of glimpses of SOBD's endeavors in the areas of academics, industry interface, career management, societal impact, and international relations, which make any good academic institution. We're very conscious that these are fledgling years for us, but we've made sure that we put a strong focus and effort in all the dimensions essential for the growth forward. While you've heard so far that the school was set up with a strong foundation of the soil philosophy, innovation, and design thinking as the pillars, we've tried to integrate these essentials into the way the students are learning in the school. And our main areas of thrust have always been experiential learning, societal impact, holistic development, and of course, academics, which all lead a student to a successful career and learning for a lifetime. A key pillar, experiential learning, is our driving force because the school's learning design is impinged primarily from Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory. Conventional academics is delivered with a lot of focus on doing and being, not just knowing. So our students were always given the academic lessons with an orientation of going out into the community, observing what's happening around to relate how we as business managers actually make a difference to the society around us. There were those numerous field trips possible. There were the industry visits possible. There were also a lot of industry lectures that came into the class. There was this full week of academy industry integration. All this made the students realize that it's not about learning in a class, but it's about learning through what you see and hear in the class. So the learning methodology was experiential oriented, and the students actually at some point realized that the online learning was actually not so nice because possibly the learning was not as experientially crafted because you couldn't do the physical trips and gatherings and so on and so forth. So we tried our best to make it possible through the experiential mode, and the societal impact was a conscious deliverable for all of us. It is in us as our legacy that we do have the society in the heart of what we do. We want to develop leaders who are inspired to make a difference for the world. So the planned program to the body, where the students were to be immersed in the society in a rural context, was all set, but pandemic struck and things had to take a turn. But we made sure that this pillar of learning was definitely accomplished, and the students were all sent to 15 partnering social sector organizations where the students were working with the social sector mentors and made sure that they made a difference to the community. At least 100 odd people were directly or indirectly impacted by about 30 to 50 hours of work. And I'm happy to say that the students' work ranged from, helping the migrant laborers, which was a big requirement last year this time, and also they worked for skill development, women upliftment, street children, and many other areas of social life. So I'm happy that students came back more developed, and they said, can we have a class postponed because my NGO meeting is waiting? So I think that kind of feeling made us feel very good that if people really have priorities in place, that even if they were business people, they needed to owe their time to the society, which is very fulfilling for a school of our kind. The next big league for us was to accomplish student development. It seems like a very common term, but we really wanted to put soul into it. We did not want the students to just do the aptitude test, mock interviews, and so on, but we actually had our intent was to help the students bring their past experience, the learning here, and this experience of the pandemic world all into their being. And yes, we were very aware that they had stress in them. They had stress of the future. They had stress of the COVID. They had personal, traumas, issues, if I can say, during COVID. But the student development part, we made sure we did it reasonably well. In the very recent stages, we even had psychological help available for our students. But the conventional student development was always there. The rigor of going through a good internship, then coming back from internship and making sure your internship fell into place for your future steps. And of course, the essential training to face the recruitment with confidence, courage, and cross that line from campus to either corporate or possibly future life, as we can say. So the internships actually were a turning point because as normal MBA students that we would all have liked. It was the first and the big experience for majority of the people to have a brush with corporate life. But again, the pandemic had different plans for us, and all the corporate internships suddenly were driven online. And the students, I must appreciate them all for their courage again and tenacity, of course, that while it would be interesting to work in a corporate setup, meet your team members, see the office feel, get the body clock to get accustomed to an office, they all had to suddenly work with remote managers, people that they could not see, people who were used to working with no personal interaction. But I think all the students learned this the hard way, that this was the preparation for the future, and that made them really ready for the corporate life, because most of our students today have been onboarded into their corporate life in an online mode. They have yet to go to their physical offices, but they have begun to contribute to their employers already. 90% of the class is placed, and we have the corporate connect and the career management team to be complemented, that we have raised our own bar of minimum package that we can give our students. We are almost averaging at 9 lakhs, which I should say is a good start in a bad year. And given the context, I'm very confident that all the students will take a leap into the future. When they've given us the leap of faith, I'm sure we give them back the leap of faith, that they will carry the, the beginning into a very enriching future. The core point is learning. All of us came to an MBA school or a PGDM diploma course with the sole aim of getting ready for future. And it's here that the long working hours, the schedule planning, the longer working hours to build the physical and mental tenacity, and the schedule planning that you get into the rigor of work, you are slowly but consciously transiting from the student phase to the employee phase, student phase to the manager phase. All this was to build in gradually a little bit of unlearning, some more of learning, and much more of preparing to learn in the future. So the development plans were all based on the agility to learning. There were these wonderful classes by Anil on self-awareness, which gave them the power of knowing how to approach all issues that came by knowing themselves stronger. Then there was yoga and wellness, which made them very mindful of how they do the things. And it was a set of contradictions that all came together, that we wanted everybody to go through all the facets that would be necessary for a successful managerial career. So the year has been worthy to look back. I've had the pleasure of working with great colleagues who had the power of research, who had the power of corporate experience, who had a lot of rich diversity to bring to the classroom. And I only thank them all for bringing it to the class and making it a well-knit effort. And we hope and sure that we will have a lot of intellectual capital to be proud of in the coming future and share it with our students. All this makes us very eager to go back to the campus whenever we can, because the campus and the physical infrastructure is blooming. It's a wonderful place where the openness is literally there. So the open-mindedness happens, and we all seek to go into the future. With this institution taking its wings, we wish our students a great flight in the future. And as I conclude, I would only remind myself and all of us here that Swami Vivekananda said, education means that process by which character is formed, strength of mind is increased, and intellect is sharpened, as a result of which one can stand on one's own feet. All the speeches before have said the same, and so we are all sure that you will travel a great journey and leave a lot of influence for us. Thank you, and all the very best.
Thank you. May I request Mr. Muthuraman to say a few words as the chair of the Board of Governors? Just Mr. Muthuraman, whatever you are inspired to share in the moment. I know we did not ask you earlier, but so nice to have you here, so I cannot resist the temptation to ask you.
Can I take a minute or two?
Sure.
Yeah, first of all, at the outset, let me congratulate all the graduating students. I wish you all great success in your professional and personal careers. Now, we all know that the purpose of management education is to develop leaders for tomorrow. Leaders who not only possess functional knowledge, but also possess characteristics and traits like compassion, empathy, integrity, concern for society, and concern for environment, and so on, many of which Anil dealt with in his speech. It's easy to teach functional knowledge to anyone. This is what our business management schools do all the time. But characteristics and skills required for leadership come from different sources. They come from sports, they come from music, fine arts, through conversations of the kind that Mr. Sanjeev Gupta mentioned, and debates, and most of all, from introspection and reflection, action reflection cycle of individuals. The School of Business Design provides you with a curriculum and ambience that is unique and that develops both functional knowledge as well as leadership characteristics. It is therefore a unique institution in India, at least. You are all lucky to have gone through these institutions for 2 years, and we believe we are equally lucky to have you all with us for the last 2 years and who will go out and make a big difference to the world. I'm sure of that. And I wish you all success and I wish you all the best. Thank you. Thank you, Anil.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And I know that we may be overstepping time, which is against our norm, but at the same time, I'm tempted if other advisory board members want to say something. You know, for example, Indira Ben, you are here, Dr. Indira Parekh, if you want to share something, or Prateek, or, you know, Santosh Desai, any one of you, Arun Arora, just a couple of minutes. So, Indira, you may unmute yourself. Savita is also there. You will have to unmute yourself. There.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Anil, this is a very beautiful occasion to have I never thought that convocation on Zoom would be as interesting as it is right now. To the students, I would like to say you are at a threshold of many, many openings, and I wish you that you chase your dreams and they come true. I just give you an example. There was a student who wanted to become a chef, but the parent wanted to become an engineer. So he did his engineering, he did his liberal education, he did his engineering and went to Toronto and joined the culinary school. And now he's a chef in a very posh restaurant in Vancouver, and has become a very good chef and is very well accepted and wanted. Now, this was one of my students, and he just called me up last weekend to thank me. Said, you told us to chase our dreams, and so I'm chasing my dreams. So many of you will have so many passions buried inside of you and not being able to open it up because there are expectations of you. But at some point of time, at least for a while, take time off to chase your dreams and you will feel very fulfilled. God bless you all and thank you.
Anyone else? Santosh, Arun, Prateek, Harsh, Savita, the rest of you are here. Do you want to say something on this occasion? Okay. Let's move on. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. So Avant Garde Batch 2021 is the first batch, the pioneer batch of Soil School of Business Design. To know more about this batch, maybe hear from their juniors and their very own faculty.
मेरे दिल की ये दुआ है कभी दूर ना तू जाए तेरे बिना हो जीना वो दिन कभी ना आए यारा तेरी यारी को मैंने तो खुदा माना याद करेगी दुनिया तेरा मेरा अफसाना तेरे जैसा यार कहाँ ऐसा यार आना याद करेगी दुनिया तेरा मेरा अफसाना
हर घड़ी बदल रही है रूप जिंदगी छाँव है कभी कभी है धूप जिंदगी हर पल यहाँ जी भर जियो जो है समा कल हो न हो।
Congratulations to you, students of Avant Garde. Health and happiness to you as you step into the new phase of this wonderful adventure of life. I hope that you will take to heart the teachings and the wisdom of your heritage, the true meaning of what health is.
It's the end of a hectic journey for sure, but it's also the beginning of a road that leads to success and glory. Heartiest congratulations and good wishes to all of you. Our love and support is always with you.
Dear students, you will always remain very special to me for two reasons. Number one, you were the first batch of the School of Business Design, and I was instrumental in hiring many of you during the admission process. And number two, I was one of the first teachers to teach you in the first term. I am sure all of you, with an excellent career ahead, will make us all proud. Thank you.
As a charter batch of this school, you're graduating in very interesting times. Times which we call a crisis, but actually times full of opportunity, because for the first time, there are more questions than answers. Answers that the world is eagerly waiting for you to answer. Answers which they know from you will be far superior to what they can get on their own.
Congratulations, Avant Garde. In the last 2 years, you have gone through all the difficulties anybody could think of, and you have all come through with great aplomb. Congratulations on your graduation.
Congratulations to the batch of Avant Garde from School of Business Design. School of Business Design was inspired by the School of Inspired Leadership. No wonder the first batch Avant Garde is radical and orthodox and the forerunners in their field. The world needs design thinkers like you.
They have been very helpful and very supportive throughout. Being in the PlaceCom especially, they have all been very approachable and I am really thankful for that.
They have been an integral part of our life here at SOBD. Right from giving us tips on how to conduct the morning circles and make it interesting and interactive, to giving us insights about our faculties and guiding us with the electives. They've been very helpful, and I hope that we are able to carry forward this bond in life. Kudos.
So, thank you so much for guiding us and guiding us through different phases.
As Avant Garde Batch is about to graduate, on behalf of Imagineers, I would like to say that they have set very high standards for the Imagineers batch, and we are very proud of our seniors, and I'm sure that they will make us even more proud as an alumni tomorrow.
तेरा हो यार कोई तो हो रास्ता
मस्ती भरे मन की भोली सी आशा, चांद तारों को छूने की आशा, आसमानों में उड़ने की आशा, दिल है छोटा सा, छोटी सी आशा, मस्ती भरे मन की भोली सी आशा। चांद तारों से चला है आगे, आसमानों से बनना है आगे, चांद तारों से चला है आगे, आसमानों से बनना है आगे, पीछे रह जाएगा ये जमाना, यहाँ कल क्या हो किसने जाना, जिंदगी एक सफर है सुहाना, यहाँ कल क्या हो किसने जाना। आशा है आशा है आशा है, कुछ पाने की हो आस आस, कोई अरमा हो जो खास खास, आशा है आशा है आशा है, हर कोशिश में हूँ बार बार, करे दरियाओं को हर पार, आशा है तूफानों को चीर के मंजिलों को छीन ले, आशाएं खिले दिल की, उम्मीदें हंसे दिल की, अब मुश्किल नहीं कुछ भी, नहीं कुछ भी।
रही या ना रही कल, याद आएंगे ये पल, ये है प्यार के पल, चल आ संग मेरे तू चल, तेरे जैसा यार कहाँ ऐसा याराना, याद करेगी दुनिया तेरा मेरा अफसाना। सारी उम्र हम मर मर के जी लिए, एक पल तो अब हमें जीने दो, सारी उम्र हम मर मर के जी लिए, एक पल तो अब हमें जीने दो, ना 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 Give me some sunshine, give me some rain, give me another chance, I wanna grow up once again. Give me some sunshine, give me some rain, give me another chance, I wanna grow up once again. दोस्ती हम नहीं तोड़ेंगे हम मगर तेरा साथ ना छोड़ेंगे।
Now I'd like to call upon Ms. Ruchi Shah, Associate Director, Career Management Services, to say a few words.
Thank you, Abdi. Yeah. Wow. I must mention it is special, and once upon a time batch of SOBD, of course, historic. It's an awe. We hardly met each other, seen each other, spoken to each other physically, face to face. but we made sure that we exist, we execute, and we live each day. Undeterred by the flow of macro events, we sailed quite well through the thick and the thin. From being selfish to selfless, we learned a lot during this journey, and of course, are still learning. My connect with you shall stay strong as we all await for you to come back to your alma mater as a prestigious alumni. I understand there have been stories, there have been undiscovered emotions, there is a past, but there is a beautiful new beginning for all of you to get going. So it's time to color your canvas with all the experiments of your achievements. My message to you all will be what Jim Rohn quotes. You are the average of 5 people you spent most of your time with. Are you with the right 5? Because you give what you are. Are you inspired enough? With this, lot of happiness, wishes, and goodwill to you until we reconnect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Saket Singh, Paras Singh, Sarthak Shrivastava, Khushbu Jha, Mahima for these momentous highlights. Special thanks to Abhilash Menon, Imagineers, for coordinating and developing the presentation.
Thanks, Avni. I take immense pleasure in requesting our revered chairman, Mr. Anil Sachdev, to declare the convocation ceremony, Deekshanta, open.
So it gives me great joy in my heart to make this now the formal part of the convocation open, so that we can proceed with the conferring of the certificates and all the honors for the students. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It has been said that the quality of person's life is in direct proportion to his or her commitment to excellence, which results in the sweetest fruit of their success, awards. The first award is Sri Muthuraman Award for Inspired Leader of the Batch. This award is designed to honor the visionary leadership and excellence of Sri B. Muthuraman. Sri Muthuraman has been conferred with the prestigious Padma Bhushan Award in 2012 by the Government of India for his significant contribution to Indian trade and industry. Therefore, this award recognizes a student who has been a role model for excellence in embodying the soil values of mindfulness, compassion, ethics, diversity, and sustainability right through the year in all his actions. And the award goes to Atul Kumar. Now I would request Sri Muthuraman sir to kindly say a few words to Atul.
Yeah, Atul, all the best to you. All that I want to say in a minute is that as you proceed in life, be conscious of the fact that people, society, environment, these are far more important and for sustainability of the world and immediate gains or immediate financial goals. Please be aware of this and all take actions that are necessary to sort of sustain this world in a proper way. The way that our forefathers left for us is the way that we need to live for our children or even in a better shape. All the best to you, Kumar.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Atul, we would like you to share something.
Yeah. Actually, I would like to thank you, Mr. Sahil Sachdev, founder of our college, Mr. Anil Sachdev, founder of our college, and Sahil Sachdev, the president of our college. Smita ma'am, founder, director of our college, and Vidya ma'am, present director of our college, CMS team, admission team, especially the Pooja ma'am, last but not the least, all the fellow 20 batchmates who were part of the journey. Last 2 years were tremendous for me, especially the first year when we all were present physically there. Learn a lot of, or I would say ton of learning and values in last 2 years, and these that will serve me best in the life. I'm really honored to receive this award. Thank you.
Great. Congratulations, Atul. The next award is Sri Arun Jain Award for Design Thinker of the Batch. This award is designed to honor the passion and belief of Sri Arun Jain in design thinking as a science to creating the biggest impact on individual and organizational performance. That is why he not only created the world's first design center for financial institutions, but also went on to establish the School of Design Thinking to this cause. Therefore, this award recognizes a student who has successfully exemplified the design mindset, agility, and empathy. And the award goes to none other than Raman Khandelwal. Sri Arun Jain has shared with us his thoughts through a video since he is in USA. So he couldn't be here. So can we have his video, please?
I'm happy to be part of School of Business Design Convocation 2021. The whole program, which was conceptualized, designed, the way pedagogy is designed, the way contents are designed, and the way the student participated like you in this first batch coming out of School of Business Design is phenomenally different than most of the other programs which I have observed in business schools. It's one of the most holistic programs which revolves around design thinking and which differentiates itself from many other things, because design thinking is all about compassion, empathy, customer sensitivity, collaboration, curiosity, ability to learn continuously, because businesses of today are becoming shorter and shorter life cycle span, where business leaders of tomorrow needs to be constantly on their feet. They need to be agile, and for that the thinking process become very critical going forward. And in that regard, the way the founders of the School of Business Design thought of it, based on their huge management experience, the advisors, the board has conceptualized it, is what I'm proud of. I must congratulate Raman Khandelwal, who is the first recipient of the Design Thinking Award. I'm also overwhelmed by institute to name the award in my name, and that's not so important, but importance is the content, if how Raman has demonstrated a lot of traits which a holistic leader who needs design thinking at every step in solving problems, designing new systems, has demonstrated. It's just a beginning, and the first batch is demonstrating the path for others to follow. All the best.
That was great. Raman, can we have you on the floor to share your thoughts?
Yes, ma'am. First of all, thank you everyone for this award. I feel really privileged for the same. And for me, like, design thinking is a very ideal and different approach that each one of us have received over these 2 years. And it has really helped us to mold our thought process while looking onto the real life problems and working on their solutions till now. And we are sure that we will be taking this forward in the future as well. So thank you, everyone.
A special mention to our wizard and teacher in design thinking, Vijay Ghai, who's here, who has created maximum interest in this area. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Congratulations, Raman, once again. The next award is Bahumukhi Ratna Award. This award recognizes a student whose achievements span a number of areas, including academic studies, sports, cultural, community work, conduct, and potential leadership. And the award goes to none other than Shubham Jain. Shubham, please say a few words. Shubham, are you there?
Yes. So, first of all, I would like to thank the college authority for considering me a recipient of this award. My journey with soil has been something that I enrich, and it has been quite fulfilling. I've come across people who have made this journey quite easy for me, as well as quite a learning journey. To all my juniors who are witnessing this event virtually, but I know it's a tough time, but trust me, there are opportunities in this 2 years that you will be getting. And the mantra for me was you go, and you have to be a go-getter. So lastly, I thank each one of you for being a part of this journey. I extend my gratitude to all the faculties, the staff, and to all my peers for making this journey a memorable one. Thank you.
Great, Shubham. Thank you. The next award is Prabalta Ratna Award. This award recognizes a student who finds the courage and stands up to protect the dignity of oneself and others, creating an environment where social responsibility is nurtured. And the award goes to our very own Swati Tiwari. Swati, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. So firstly, I would like to thank each one of you for believing in me, and I'm so grateful to receive this award. And these achievements really push me forward to work more harder to achieve my goals. And once again, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Swati. Well deserved. The next award is Adarsh Ratna Award. This award recognizes a student for his efforts, perseverance, diligence, and discipline. The student demonstrates excellence with all instructions fulfilled to the best of his ability. And the award goes to Prashant Bharti. The next award is Kala Ratna Award. This award recognizes a student for demonstration of active participation through involvement in school-based or community-based performing arts and other extracurricular activities. And the award goes to the very talented Srishti Jain.
Deeply honored and glad for this recognition. I would like to thank all the faculties for believing in me and showing some creativity with me. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Srishti. The next award is Prerna Ratna Award. This award recognizes a student who has been an excellent role model, inspire others to work collaboratively and creatively, demonstrate initiative, and promote a collegial environment. And the award goes to Vanshika Gupta. Say a few words.
First of all, thank you for considering me suitable for this award. My journey in soil has been an invaluable experience. I'm very happy to be recognized by you all for this award. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Vanshika. Congratulations. Our next award is Pragyashil Ratna Award. This award is designed to honor the exemplary contributions made by an organization to its local community through service initiatives. May I now request our esteemed advisory board member, Shri Yogesh Andle, Director, Wheels Charitable Foundation, to kindly present the award.
Thank you, Ekta. I'm very happy to announce this Pragyashil Award today. The Pragyashil Award goes to Ashima Foundation. Ashima Foundation is one such non-profit organization working in the field of developing and enhancing skills for not only kids, but for everyone who needs it. It believes that skill and knowledge is a weapon that one should have to outshine in the society and modern world. Congratulations, Ashima Foundation.
Thank you, sir.
Ashima Foundation is privileged to collaborate with School of Inspired Leadership and School of Business Design under its Social Innovation Program. We are honored to receive the prestigious Pragyashil Ratna Award and feel energized for our efforts in skill development and livelihood creation space. We are both humbled and honored to accept this award. Thank you so much, and we hope that everyone here continues to support Ashima Foundation, and all of us remember that collectively we have the passion, persistence, and endurance to keep moving. Thank you so much.
I wish heartiest congratulations to all the awardees. Very well deserved. Now is the time for the most awaited moment where we acknowledge the talent of our brimming managers. Today is a milestone. It tells you how far you have come. Keep learning, keep accomplishing, and keep venturing on through your journey. Congratulations once again. May I now invite Dr. Digamba Prasad, Registrar, Soil School of Business Design, to present the class of Avant Garde for PGDM Award.
Om Ma Saraswate Nama. Thank you, ma'am. I, the Registrar of Soil School of Business Design, present to you the 21 Students PGDM Awards, approved by All India Council for Technical Education, as per recommendation for the year 2019-21.
Now, may we have our director of the school to call out the students for the diplomas.
I present the students for the diploma. Anushka Tiwari, Arun Gehlot, Atul Kumar, Vignesh Jain, Gaurav Agarwal, Ashika Chawla, Anila Chandan Shetty, Athar Gupta, Anki Gaur, Deekshanta Kumar Bharti, Pulkit Gupta, Rahul Agarwal, Aksha Jafar, there are a few more. There's a glitch here. Is somebody taking over?
Ma'am, it'll resume in few seconds, please.
Yeah. Next delay. We called after this. Raksha, and then Raman Khandelwal, Neha Thakur, Harsha Reddy, Srishti Jain, Shubham Jain, Swati Tiwari, Vanshika Gupta, and Yukti Sharma. Congratulations, students.
Congratulations to the entire batch. You all have now graduated. Before you move to the professional life, let's take the oath. May I now call upon Kashika Chawla to take the oath on behalf of Avant Garde Batch.
I, Kashika Chawla, having qualified for postgraduate diploma in management from Soil School of Business Design, solemnly take an oath that I shall place the honor, dignity, and interest of my country above myself, and I shall conduct myself with diligence and decorum to enhance the prestige of my college. To the best of my ability, knowledge, and judgment, I will duly and sincerely bring my organization to excellence with utmost satisfaction, utilize all the resources placed at sustainable development in accordance with the rule of law, uphold the principles of business ethics, and practice tenets of good governance.
Avant Garde, the history makers at Soil School of Business Design, would now like to present a token of their gratitude.
Today is a day that we all have dreamt about. When I first came to SOPD, I came out with a lot of fears underneath me. Today, I can say that I've overcome over 90% of my fears, and I know for a fact that SOPD has played a vital role in my life. I owe big thanks to all the faculty members and my friends who have supported me in grooming myself all through the journey.
Being the first batch here at SSOBT, the college has given me the opportunity to put my thoughts forward and gain leadership skills. I want to thank Smita ma'am, Vidya ma'am, Ripsi ma'am, Sakhi ma'am, Arjya ma'am and Nitika ma'am for always being a go-to faculty. Jaideep sir for his constant support and motivation. Ruchi ma'am and the entire CMS team for guiding me towards the right career path. And Anil sir for helping me discover the best possible version of myself. I really look forward to the future ahead and meeting you all.
Hello everyone, I hope everyone is safe. The 2-year journey with SOIL has been amazing. I would like to thank my faculties who have always motivated and encouraged us to do our best and made us believe that nothing is impossible. All you need is to put in more efforts. Second, I would like to thank my classmates and friends who have been there as a support system throughout the journey. They have become a part of my family. I would also like to wish best of luck to the Imagineers, and I know these are testing times, but this too shall pass. All the best, stay strong and stay safe.
I'm Swati Tiwari from 2019 PGDM Analytics Batch. I would like to give my sincere gratitude to Institute, management, teachers, mates and my juniors. I'm so overwhelmed with the support and guidance which I have received throughout my journey at SOIL. Through SOIL, I also got an opportunity to meet with diverse people, which has helped me to grow and develop myself personally and professionally. My journey at SOIL has been amazing and successful. This college has a special place in my heart, will always be missed, and I once again thank you everyone for making my journey worth remembering. Thank you all.
Thank you, Avant Garde, for such a heartwarming gratitude.
Before we go ahead, may I request everybody but for Avant Garde students to switch off videos so that we can have the batch in the foreground, please. It's a request for a short while so that we can see the class of 21. Avant Garde, please all come on video and yes. Congratulations, and I think this picture is to be captured in a memorable one. Thank you all. Thank you for joining today. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah. So, as we come close to our convocation ceremony, I invite Dr. Ripsi Bondia, Assistant Professor, Soil School of Business Design, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Agni. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this momentous occasion. I thank our honorable chief guest, Mr. Sanjay Gupta, for taking out his valuable time to join us in our celebrations. Sir, your words have ignited deep thinking in each one of us. Your 5 principles, being who you are, recognizing and understanding others, power of conversation, fighting the right fight, and power of asking why, are the principles that shall serve us as a guiding light for each one of us. My sincere thanks to the founding members and our esteemed advisory board members for taking out their valuable time to be a part of this convocation. Mr. B. Muthuraman, Dr. Indira Parekh, Ms. Savita Mahajan, Mr. Santosh Desai, Mr. Arun Arora, Mr. Prateek Kumar, Professor Harsh Mishra, Mr. Yogesh Andle. We shall always remain indebted to you for all your invaluable guidance. My special thanks to the founder and chairman of SOIL, Mr. Anil Sachdev, for his guiding vision. Thank you, sir, for being the catalyst of change for so many of us. My heartfelt gratitude to the president of SOIL School of Business Design, Mr. Sahil Sachdev, for providing his continued direction to the institute. His guiding direction has been highly instrumental in making the institute reach such heights in a short span of time. Vision cannot be achieved without efficient execution. My sincere thanks to our director, Dr. Vidya Iyer. Her leadership and invaluable guidance has always steered us and our students on a path that leads to successful and happy life. My thanks to our esteemed faculty members. You have not just filled students' minds with knowledge, but ignited a passion for their chosen discipline that will endure long after the convocation is over. I thank parents for their trust in us. Thank you for trusting us by leaving your wards in our care. The non-teaching support staff, the silent workers behind the scene deserve a special thanks. Special mention of Jai Bhagwanji for his continued support to the Institute since its inception. My sincere thanks to the entire team of SOIL School of Business Design for successfully organizing convocation of the first batch. Special mention of Ms. Upasna, Dr. Ekta, and Mr. Thilai, who have been relentlessly working towards making this event a success. This event would not have been possible without continuous support of volunteers from Imagineer Batch and class of 21-23 who took it on them to make the event a memorable one. And last, but definitely not the least, thank you and many, many congratulations to all the students who have graduated today. Dear students, I wish you all the very best for journey ahead. Thank you.
May I now call upon Mr. Anil Sachdev to declare the closing of the convocation ceremony, Deekshanta.
Yes, and Avant Garde, remember, the acronym for you is AG. Remember, A is for appreciation. Pass on smiles and appreciation to everybody. And remember, G for gratitude. When you practice appreciation and gratitude, you will smile, you will always be happy, and you will create smiles and happiness all over. So I'm sure we are going to see a lot of you, and you are going to accompany us to Siddhbadi, because this year we are going to have the Siddhbadi trip with God's grace. And I hope all of you will spend time with us there. And lots of blessing, lots of love. And with this, we formally close the convocation function. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, all our advisory board members, co-founders, and all our guests and parents. And parents, you are the most important stakeholder for us, because it's only you who enabled all these wonderful people to come to this world. So thank you very much. Thank you.
So may I now conclude the event by calling Khushbu Jha, student batch 23 SSOBD, to sing the national anthem. I would request all of you to rise for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल भंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तब सुखना में जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाता जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Jai Hind.
जय हिंद थैंक यू
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Anil.
Thank you, Susie. Thank you very much, Susie. Thank you for staying up very late for us.
Thank you all and have a wonderful day.
Let's all come on screen tonight. And you also please put up whatever of your, picture types.